our friendship started back in 2021 when you came and did a CrossFit competition at the gym I coach at, Cottingham Strength and Fitness, which is the best gym in the entire world. It was your first CrossFit competition, and we have a mutual friend, hashtag shout out Chad Ward, said, hey, say hi to my friend Trevor. So I went up to you and said, hi, Trevor.
Thanks so much for tuning into the HOLO Health podcast, where we exist to bring awareness to the idea that our health is more than just physical. We believe that there are several parts of us that make up our health. Our purpose here at HOLO Health is to help you become truly healthy through removing unnecessary limitations in each area of your life, body, mind, and soul. I'm one of your hosts, Trevor Deal, and I'm excited for today's conversation with Alex Cottingham, where we talk about the addition of myself into HOLO Health, how we became business partners, and getting to know us in a little bit deeper way. We hope you enjoy today's episode. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the HOLO Health podcast. Today we're sitting down with CEO and founder, none other than himself, Alex Cottingham. Alex, how you doing?
I am well, Trevor. Normally we record these episodes well during the day, but we are starting the day strong. Just in case, I don't know when the listeners are listening, but this is 6 a.m. We are doing this episode at 6 a.m. and I had to wake up 3 hours in advance just to get ready for this. So
that can't be true.
That's not true, but I'm really excited.
Well, this is our productive hours, I would say. We're definitely the morning birds. But Alex, with the two of us coming together as partners and looking to grow HOLO Health and see what happens with it. You know, the other day we were talking about how we're just bringing together two different communities and how awesome that is. You know, you over your life have built up a community of people, and the same is true for me. And we're bringing these two communities together into the HOLO Health community, which is so cool. And we were just talking about how we want these groups to merge and have this just large community, right? Where HOLO Health is now just a community of people that know Alex, know Trevor, and can start to know and encourage each other. And then we can invite more people into that space. And so I think what's important for our listeners and our community members is we want them to have a true understanding of who Alex is, of who Trevor is, and kind of how we connected, how we got to this place of becoming partners and doing this thing called HOLO Health. So today's episode, Alex, you and I are just going to sit down. We're going to talk about how we met. We're going to talk about the progression of what led to us sitting down here this early 6 a.m. morning, doing a podcast episode together. And maybe we'll have a little something special here at the end, but I'm going to tee it up to you, Alex, and just share a little bit on your perspective on how we met.
Well, Trevor, I'm excited. I'm excited that we're doing this thing together. So this all started, if you haven't listened to the episode before this, we kind of gave the background of how HOLO Health started. But I think one of the best parts or best things that have happened to HOLO Health so far is the addition of Trevor, because someone can only take something so far. I am my own limiter. And when you expand and when you double, you also expand and double your capacity and influence. And that's exactly what we're doing with the addition of you, buddy. So our friendship started back in 2021 when you came and did a CrossFit competition at the gym I coach at, Cottingham Strength and Fitness, which is the best gym in the entire world. It was your first CrossFit competition, and we have a mutual friend, hashtag shout out Chad Ward, said, hey, say hi to my friend Trevor. So I went up to you and said, hi, Trevor. And it was just casual. And actually at that event is when I pulled the evil run 2 lap up the mountain, because for the people listening, I told everyone to go run up a mountain once. And that was the event. Go run up and back down, and do it as fast as you can. You're going to get a score for how fast you go. But the trick was, while they were at the top, I told all the contestants and the volunteers, hey, actually, we're going to make them run it again. So they're sprinting towards the finish line. And Trevor was actually the very first one, because he's very fit and very quick. He comes down the mountain, and there's actually a picture attached to this. And I was like, whoa. You're actually halfway there. You got to run it again. And Trevor took it like swimmingly, just right off the cuff, just kept going. Everyone else did not. I got a bunch of cries, tears, curse words, physical altercations, blood. People didn't even believe me. People just stopped and was like, haha, that's funny. I was like, okay, well, see ya. So anyways, that's a quick little aside. So Trevor and I met there, and then we really just continued that conversation, kind of kept praying towards it. And we had some other meetings and lunches and stuff like that. We just kind of kept praying over, and I'll kind of let you add some flavor to the conversation, Trevor. But yeah, it's really been a product over the past 6-9 months of just the Lord behind everything, just moving and grooving and opening doors.
Yeah, listeners, for context, that competition was the beginning of September of 2021. So it's been a lot of time in conversation put into where we're sitting down doing this episode today. I think back to that competition, it was very funny. I had no idea who Alex was, truthfully, other than he did residency with a good friend of mine from college, which I'll vouch for somebody like that. Like, he's probably a good dude. And he was wearing a Pray shirt, a Mayhem Pray shirt. So I was like, he must be a decent guy. So we chatted for a minute, and then all of that got thrown out the window when he told me to run another lap up the
he's
mountains.
he's not turning around. He's not a good guy.
No, but it was listeners, that was the first event on a Sunday, and it was a 2-mile-ish trail run in Swanee, the Swanee Mountain Preserve. So, and I had actually been training for a trail run, so don't let his hyped up comments fool you. I was just in I guess the right level of fitness for that event. The other events weren't as pretty, but it was funny to meet Alex in that way, and then not really know the progression or what would happen and how we'd get to here 6 a.m. But it's funny to think about. I would say probably about a month after that, I started a podcast that I used to run called Broken Rhythms. And honestly, it was just conversations about how in life we constantly experience things that break our rhythm up, that cause us to get out of our flow, and how those conversations can be stewarded well, and helping encourage people how to live life in a very really truly healthy way. And so Alex and I connected on social media probably around the same time, if not a little bit after I started that podcast. And he reached out to me and was like, dude, I had no idea that you were into this kind of stuff. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm into helping empower other people. I think there's a lot of aspects to our health, and I think there's a way that that could be done in a better way than what we see today in society. And so we probably spent, what would you say, an hour on the phone that first time?
Probably. And another side, I got to get better at my sides. But when I told Hannah that I was going to reach out, she's like, make sure it doesn't sound like you're trying to sell them something or getting the multi-level marketing or something. I'm like, that's a great point where I'm like, hey man, do you want to hop on a call and let me tell you about my business plan? I've been the victim of many of those conversations myself, where it was not a multi-level marketing scheme. It was just more to hear your heart and vision behind what you were doing. And yeah, we chatted for about 50-60 minutes, sharing visions and sharing passions and sharing kind of what the Lord has placed on both of our hearts separately. And then I continued the conversation with an invitation and said, hey, why don't we put a date on the calendar? You can come up to the gym and we can throw down, we can talk a little bit more about it. I'd like to kind of share with you what and where HOLO Health is going. And that's really what we did. And that was the beginning of January. So
yeah, that beginning of January was just so interesting. I remember capping off 2021, Aaron and I spent more time than we wish reflecting, simply due to #COVID. And, it is what it is. But we did get to spend a ton of time reflecting on the previous year and how we wanted that to impact the way that we lived in 2022. And it was really encouraging. Towards the end of 2021, the Lord continued to remind me of the word priorities. And Alex, you and I talk quite often and use the phrase, keep the main things the main things. And stepping into 2022 and getting to connect together, we sat down, listeners, we didn't sit down. Sorry. We met at, I think it was the 5:30 class, or was it the six? No, it was 5:30.
5 or 6 a.m. class. Yeah.
Maybe the 6 a.m. class.
I think it
I'll
was
say
6 a.m.
6 a.m. class. And I'm convinced still to this day that Alex programmed the workout specifically to have cycling squat snatches, which, yeah, it sounds horrible because it is horrible. No one ever really wants to do those. But thankfully, we had some strength stuff that I got to fuel Alex to go faster in the workout, which shame on me. But after that, we caught our breaths for 10 minutes, and then he shared the vision for HOLO Health, what he had currently done, and we sat down, recorded a podcast episode that may or may not ever get aired, but who really cares? It was really just a time for us to get to know one another and have a conversation about our desire for empowering other people to live a truly healthy lifestyle. And what happened at the end of that, y'all, and this is where I'm getting back to that priorities conversation, is the first thing that Alex said after we finished all of that, the workout, the podcast episode, the conversation, the action items, first step thing that he said was to pray. And I honestly don't really remember what was after that, because I knew what I was going to be praying about. And to me, I remember driving to work after that and just thinking, like, this is done. He's approaching this in a very mature and spiritually healthy way. Whereas for both Alex and myself, our relationship with the Lord is priority number one. And for him to demonstrate that, and I had not really known him that long or in a truly deep way at that point, that was encouraging, and that was affirming from the Lord. It's like, okay, this is something that I want you to entertain. And fast forward 3 months later, 2.5 months later, here we are doing the dang thing. So I think it's impressive, Alex, the way that you keep your mind and heart and body postured towards the Lord in that way. And I just want to say thanks for doing that, because I think if you said anything else, maybe we'd be here, maybe we wouldn't. And so I just think it's cool to see, and I think the encouragement would be for listeners is that understanding your priorities and making sure those are communicated, it will be encouraging to other people, and it invites other people in. It may not invite every single person in, but we're not meant to invite as a million people in. We're meant to encourage and empower people those closest to us. And so, Alex, thanks for doing that. I mean, I would say it's a big reason why I actually entertained the idea.
Well, I think that was more the Lord than me, because I do remember that. I didn't realize the significance of it at the moment, but yeah, we took the rest of January and we did exactly that. I prayed over it, you prayed over it, and then we had lunch at the world's best place.
Amen.
In the local Woodfire Grill. And
Sponsored.
we did, yeah, I wish they were sponsoring this episode. And we just sat down and you're like, hey, I'm in, like, let's rock and roll. And that was February 10th. And we have hit the ground running ever since. So that's a quick little timeline on over the past 6-9 months on what our relationship has looked like, how it's connected, what the Lord's been up to. And this is just the starting line, which is what I'm very, very excited for, because we have some really cool things coming down the pipeline. But that's for a different podcast episode. This is all about the who behind the what. So, Trevor, thank you.
Yeah, of course, Alex. I appreciate you saying that. And if you haven't been to the local, there's 2 locations. One is just off Windward Parkway exit. The other location is Perimeter, Sandy Springs exit. I would encourage you to go. If you work in either of those locations, don't bring your lunch. Grab a friend. Go eat at the local. You need to get the street corn. You need to get the local fries. You need to get the Brussels, and you can get anything else you want. But you need
and
to
sweet potatoes and get pulled pork over chicken. It is absolutely amazing. For my listeners who are non-Georgia residents, I'm so sorry. When you come visit, we'll take you there.
Big promise.
Very big.
Alex, I think what could be helpful before we dig into the last part of this is to do a brief 60 to 90 second snippet on Alex Cottingham, and then I'll do a brief 60 to 90 second on Trevor Deal, so that our communities, our listeners who are from either part can come in, listen a little bit, know a little more about Alex, know a little more about Trevor.
Alex, 3, 2, 1, go. I am a follower of Jesus. I am a husband and a father. I am a coach. I am a business owner. I am an author. I am a podcaster. I am a CrossFitter. I am someone who is very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Protective of his sleep. I am a reader.
You know how to read?
A little bit. I'm working on my 4-letter words. I'm not up to the 5-letter words yet though. And I am.
I just realized that HOLO HLTH, both words are 4 letters.
They are. See, that's why I can't get to the 5. I couldn't spell health with the vowels in it, so I had to take them out. And I am a avid food junkie. I love really, really good food. Where Han and I, when we go out to restaurants, we order appetizers and desserts and split entrees and all these things because we want to try it all because it's very, very yummy versus drinking or something else. We're like, we're just going to buy all the food and eat it because we absolutely love it. So that was 72 seconds. I apologize, but that is me.
You didn't time it. I think it was actually 82 seconds.
Dang.
It's funny the way that you did that. I was definitely not thinking you were going to go that way, but I like what you did. You're just saying identifiers of Alex. So
that's right.
Trevor Deal grew up in Dublin, Georgia, which is geographically middle Georgia. I would call it South Georgia, and so would anybody else. I grew up down there, played a bunch of sports growing up. In high school, played only tennis. I also played the trumpet from 5th grade until I graduated high school and was in marching band, jazz band, and the wind ensemble bands. Came to know the Lord June 2nd, 2010. Best decision of my life. I didn't truly start following the Lord and prioritize a relationship with him until I went to Georgia. Freshman year, Georgia, got involved with the Wesley Foundation, met some amazing people, some friends I'm still blessed to have in my life this day. Later at Georgia, met my now wife, Erin. Used to be Erin Harmon. Now she's Erin Deal. Thank the Lord for that. We had just an incredible time at Georgia. Athens is a city near and dear to our heart, and hopefully we'll be back one day. But both of us now live in historic Norcross. I love to say historic Norcross because the downtown is beautiful and we live right here. And my friends give me a hard time about it. So if you listen, I hope you enjoyed that, friends. But I currently work as a business development manager for Select Source Staffing. And I also work for HOLO HLTH with Alex. I enjoy.
Yeah, you do.
That's right, baby. We're doing it. So I enjoy all things health and wellness. Been doing CrossFit for a little over a year. Love running. Love reading. I'm a very habitual person by nature, which you'll get a little entertainment into that at the end of this episode. But some would call me a 45-year-old man in a 25-year-old's body, which is nothing wrong with that. That's just kind of a quick snippet into Trevor. Both of us have a lot of things that we dream about doing in life, and excited to be able to encourage and empower each other to do that. And I hope you enjoyed this brief snippet into Alex and Trevor's life scene.
Do I need to go back and do that too? Because you just demolished my 60, 90-second intro.
I think I may have gone a little longer than 90 seconds, but here's the thing, Alex. 9 times out of 10, the second orator will be a little bit more impressive than the first. And I think
that's why you said, Alex, you go first.
Maybe. See, I'm just trying to teach you a few things.
I appreciate that.
Just for time's sake, no, you can't go back and do it, but
okay.
Maybe we can get you on Instagram one of these days to do a
deal.
Snippet.
Deal. That sounds good. Well, honestly, many of the people who are listening to the HOLO HLTH podcast that are from my sphere of influence probably already know that. So they're like, thank the Lord he didn't say it again. So I'm actually just giving the people what they want. So
exactly. Honestly, there's probably like 10-1 listeners that know you to know me. But eventually they'll come and listen. Alex, let's recap. Let's kind of wind it down a little bit and just talk a little bit fun, lighthearted stuff, maybe a serious question or two.
Okay.
Let's just end the episode with 3 questions that we'll ask. We'll go back and forth, but both of us will answer. And so I'll let you ask the first question. Both of us will give our answer. I'll go, and then you go based on whoever asked that question.
Okay.
Hopefully gives listeners a little more well-rounded view of Alex and Trevor.
Um, why don't you ask the first one, because I know your answer is more impressive and the second one is always more impressive. So I'll give my answer to the first one and then I'll ask you that question.
Okay. Here we go again. I was trying to tee you up. I was going to go first, but okay.
Your answer is
Alex,
way more impressive.
first question. What does your morning routine look like?
So I would tell you my morning routine as of now in an ideal world, but life with young kids definitely throws a wrench in many things, which is why when Trevor gives you his, you'll be like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, yeah, I wish I could do that. But to be honest, I just
I don't
don't.
have Kruby Dooby and
I know, little
Eddie Jean in
AJ,
my life.
which are the biggest blessing in the entire world.
Truly.
But it also comes with things that you have to work with as well. So to be honest, I do my absolute best, and 99.9% of the time I'm up before them. For example, I was up at 5 a.m. this morning, and I honestly start before I even put my feet on the ground. I say, Lord, thank you. Like literally, Lord, thank you. Just a quick little prayer, and get dressed, head downstairs. I take some little electrolytes, aminos, just kind of drink, and I try to drink. For all the listeners that can't see this big 32-ounce hydro flask of water, and I try to drink water as soon as I wake up, and I drink some creatine and fish oil and stuff like that. Try to get some food literally within my system, some sort of protein. Pack my lunch, get everything around, and then if I have to head straight to the gym and do a 6 a.m. podcast, who does that? But if I do, I got to head straight out the door. But if I have time and margin, I'm not in a rush to get to the gym by 6 a.m. I like to read. I like to pray. I like to journal. I like to take time and think. I like to keep my phone on do not disturb until the very last minute. And then some days will look like writing. Some days will look like working on programming for whatever, coaching. And other days may look like a workout because I got to get an early morning workout in because I can't get anywhere else. So it just kind of comes to the day. But I wake up early in the morning and I get some water in my system. I pray. I keep the most important things. And most of that is done before 7 a.m. And then that's pretty much when the kiddos are up or I am off to the gym.
That's awesome, Alex. And I'm excited for not rushing it, but I'm excited for the days that Aaron and I do get to have children, Lord willing, that if they break the morning rhythm, like let it be. Like what a blessing that they'll be. And I know your kids love them as well. So I think that's great. And I would say for myself, I definitely have the ability to be a little more rhythmic and habitual.
Structured.
Yeah, in my morning routine. I also very much so enjoy sleep a lot. I'm up at 5 to 5:15 every day, depending on the day. 15 minutes of sleep, I'll take it anytime. But it depends on the day. And the first thing I'll do is wash my face, brush my teeth, and come downstairs and I'll drink my hydro flask of water. It's not 32 ounces, it's 24 ounces. So 8 ounces less of,
Dang.
I
Got him
know.
there.
Yeah. Check mark, Alex. And then I will go sit. I also make a cup of coffee. Typically, it's a pour over, and because I like good coffee snob. Shout out to Erin. She caused that because I didn't drink coffee until we started dating.
You didn't drink coffee until Aaron?
Yeah, dude. Our first date, we went to a coffee shop. Actually, fun fact, and listeners, I hope you enjoy this as well. We go up to the counter, and I was like, Aaron, go ahead, get whatever you like. I'm going to take care of it. Which it's a cup of coffee, so don't act like I'm dropping mad cash. But she orders an iced lavender latte at a coffee shop called Two Story that is now no longer existing. That's a different conversation. But she ordered that, and then I step up and I was like, "Can I just have a water cup, please?" And she's like, "Are you not getting a coffee?" I was like, "No, I actually don't drink coffee." And she's like, "That could be a deal breaker." And we hadn't even sat down at the table yet. And
You're like, I'm drinking coffee now.
well, actually, no. At that point in my life, I was very ultimatum heavy. I was very hard headed and a lot of
Black
other
or
things.
white.
Oh yeah, and it was like no, you're not gonna tell me I have to drink coffee. But I did end up succumbing to coffee because my roommates all drank coffee. Aaron drank coffee. I was like, yeah, I'll try it. Sure enough, I absolutely love. I actually love the taste of coffee, like just black coffee. However, back to the morning routine, I make a pour over 9 times out of 10. Sometimes I do a latte if I'm really feeling like a little milky coffee delight. And then I'll go sit down in my chair in my living room and I'll pray and I'll read, follow a reading plan and stick to that. And I don't get on my phone in the mornings. I mean, you kind of like have to turn off the alarm and things like that, but I don't spend time on my phone because I want to really be productive and I can get back to people or take care of things later. They're not that immediate to where I need to be answering texts or anything like that. So I don't get on my phone. I'll read, I'll pray, read, and then I'll read probably about 10 pages to 15 pages of a book that I'm currently reading. Right now it's Born to Run, and it's a book about a group, an indigenous group of people who their culture, they just love running, and a reporter's quest to really unpack why they love running, why they don't get injured, and why their culture is centered around running. So I spend about 10 to 15 minutes reading, and then from there, go downstairs to the garage. I'm blessed to have a home gym, and I hit about an hour to an hour 20 minute of a workout, come upstairs, shower, shave, put on my clothes, hop in the car, and headed to work by 7:30. So very dialed in and understanding that it will have to change one day. But right now we are moving and grooving with the morning routine.
Dang, love it. All right, question 2. TD. If you won 10 million tomorrow, what would you spend it on?
It's a great question. I think we've been talking about this, and I think this is the first thing that comes to my mind. Our church, the Square Church in Smyrna, wants to get a new building. And so I think firmly that the Lord would stir Aaron and I's heart to be able to give and provide in some capacity to be able to do that this year. I also think that we would probably put a lot of that in savings and not immediately buy a house now because the market is way up and it's not the time to buy. It is time to sell. So we'd probably do that. Honestly, probably get every piece of cardio equipment that I could put in feasibly fit in the home gym. And then I would probably, if Aaron was cool with this, go ahead and put money aside for our children that are not yet born
In existence.
Yeah. So we'd probably put some money aside for them. And I would probably buy some sod for a friend of mine.
Trevor, I knew I loved you for a reason because that was my first answer. I swear I'm spiritual. Just go back and listen 15 minutes because I did say pray. But number one thing I'm buying is sod for my entire front and backyard because
the only reason I say that is because we talked about it Friday and I was like, oh, my man definitely needs some sod.
Needs some sod because the home we bought, it's a great home. We put a lot of work into it, but the yard is absolutely atrocious. And I just dream of the day that we can just have a luscious lawn. So hey, I'm working on it though. We're gonna get there. It's just
it doesn't look that bad, but I know homeowners feel differently about their
yes,
home
exactly.
than visitors.
So I'm hopefully going to reap what I sow later, and I'm sowing some seed. I'm sowing some seed this season. So I would buy some sod. I'm like, okay, great. That would be about 10 grand out of the $10 million. I would do all of the normal adulty things. I would give some, I would save some, I would invest some, I would put it away for my kids. I would maybe get a new car or two. But outside of that stuff, I would love to take a 1 or 2 week trip, just Han and I away. to just breathe a little bit, because we're in the surviving, not the thriving age with kids. So that's what I would do, on top of giving to the church, giving to organizations, giving to friends in need, saving a lot of it. So 10 million would be amazing. But then the last part, after all of those financial things are taken care of, is I would open a 20,000 square feet gym that is decked out in all the things as a headquarters of Holo Health.
Come on.
And it would rock your socks off.
Please don't fire me, because I didn't say anything about HOLO Health.
Listeners, we have to cut this episode early. I have to have an official meeting with TD.
I could just end the Zoom call and then not talk to you till tomorrow morning.
Exactly. All right,
Alex,
last question, Trevor.
Last question. I got it. This one, I'm going to tee you up first. If you could go back and give your 18-year-old self, which I've seen you at 18, so you could say a lot of things for this advice. But if you could go back and give your 18-year-old self one piece of advice, what would it be?
I know what Trevor would say. He'd say, take creatine sooner.
Jeez, man.
Trevor texted me like a month ago. He's like, dude, you've put on some weight. He's like, you look thin back in the day. What did you say?
You just looked a little frail compared to now. It wasn't like oh, you're skinny, that's bad. Because everybody, like, there's no body shame at all. I was simply saying, bro, you have put on some size. Like, even since I met him in September, he's much thicker and stronger in the gym too. And I was just commenting on that. But yeah, I
thought it was comical. That's hilarious. Okay, to answer your question, when I was 18, what would I say now to my 18-year-old self? I would say, 1, slow down. I would say 2, be fiercely present to each moment. And I would say 3, don't be so hard on yourself.
You know, I think it's funny. I think all those are really good, but you're supposed to give yourself one piece of advice.
I gave you 3. I gave the listeners more.
Another insight into Alex is he's just going to go against the grain, and you're just going to have to be cool with that.
If Hannah were on the episode, she would 100% agree. Whenever there's like everyone this way, I'm going to find a different way. So when there's a will, there's a way. But those are the 3 I would say.
Oh, those are good, Alex. I like those a lot.
What about you, Trevor? What are you saying?
This is tough. One thing that I learned in college, and this will be probably a conversation or episode later or something else later, sneak peek, but my actions have severe consequences. Whether good or bad, they have significant consequences.
You reap what you sow.
Exactly. And so one of my favorite quotes, I think you probably like it as well, is that every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. So I wish I would tell my 18-year-old self that quote and say, the actions that you take, the way that you steward those actions, if you do that in a way that empathizes and embodies excellence, you'll become the man that the Lord wants you to become.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that quote and that kind of sentiment of advice is I wouldn't tell myself to do one thing. I wouldn't say focus on this. I would just say this idea of excellence and embodying this for the Lord will help you step into the man that He desires you to become.
Yeah.
And that was something that I learned in a very hard way in college, in a very slap you, wake you up kind of way. And I wish I knew it. Shoot, I was only like 2 years difference, but I wish I knew it 2 years sooner.
Yeah.
That's what I would say for sure.
I love that. Hashtag work hard, love harder.
That's right, baby.
Hey, stay tuned, because I don't know when you listen to it, but you might be able to get that shirt soon. Hashtag shameless plug.
Yeah, listeners, he's going to go ahead and sneak. I thought he was going to say something else. I'm glad he didn't. But listeners, he is teasing at our spring line, which will drop in April. If you're not following us on Instagram, I would follow us on Instagram, because you're going to be able to see more details, graphics of the shirt, maybe some cool looking people and some cool looking shirts.
Come on.
Alex, this is a fun episode. It's great, obviously, to hear a recap and for both of us to share some insight on each other, our relationship, how we came to this 6 a.m. podcast recording episode in whatever day it is, in whatever month it is. Can't tell the listeners because we don't want them to know.
That's right.
But
secret.
If I had to sum up today's episode in a sentence, it would just be that we are two similar guys with the same passion to help other people to become truly healthy. That's what we're doing through HOLO Health. And so, listeners, we hope you enjoyed this episode and learned something new about Alex or about me. If you didn't already, if I'm a listener who enjoyed today's episode, because if you listen, you probably enjoyed it. Alex, what would I need to do to learn more about HOLO Health?
Go to holohealth.com to #join the community for a bunch of just free content, exclusive looks, and connected with same valued, like-minded individuals that can help you go further faster, because that's our definition of community, and we need to live in community. We're going to talk about that more in the next episode on why it's a fundamental anthropologic desire we all have. If you don't know what the heck I just said, don't even worry about it. We'll talk about it later. But we all should be living in community, and that's what we strive to do here at HOLO Health. So we are creating a digital way to do that in with the hope and desire that we will be able to foster an actual community down the road. So go to HOLO HLTH and you can see all the things we have. Subscribe to our newsletter, follow us on Instagram, check out the apparel coming up. We're dropping some other merch, seminars, podcast, all the fun things. Just go to HOLO HLTH. Remember, I can't spell longer than 4-letter words. 5-letter words mix me up, which is why I can't get this down. So go to the website, check it out, subscribe, join the community, and let's rock and roll.
Alex, thanks for sharing that. Listeners, go check out HOLO Health on any platform that you are interested in or following. Thanks for bringing the heat today, my man. Always great having these conversations and to partner with you and bring this vision to life. I'm excited for what the Lord's going to do and what the fruit will be. Listeners, I hope you have a blessed day, and we hope that you know that you're loved. See ya.
See ya.
Thanks so much for tuning in to today's episode. If you found our conversation interesting, we'd love for you to share it with a friend. Additionally, we want to invite you into the HOLO Health community. If you want to get more involved, go check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Remember that you are more than just physical, so you should treat your health in that way. We appreciate you more than you know and hope that you have a blessed day.